Hey guys, so ever since Switch hacking has been possible, getting banned has always been a question and a concern that was on people's mind. And I'm going to be showing you some potential ways in the future that you can try to avoid getting banned. I'm also going to be giving you some insight on what we know about bans up to this point. And of course, I'm going to have all the resources linked in the video description if you want to go check out any of these yourself. So as you can see, I'm on the Nintendo Switch Banning Hub page, and this is the official thread on GBAtemp. I mean, not really official, but this is like the unofficial, official one, where everyone talks about ban. As you can see, it's 220 pages long, and there's 20 posts on each page. So there is quite a few people that are discussing this right now. And that has always been the case since Switch hacking was even possible. The reason why there are so many pages and why so many people are talking about this is because banning is just so volatile. You don't know if you're going to get banned for doing something or not. People do the same thing and then one of them will get banned and one of them will not get banned. So that's the ongoing issue, is that you never know for sure if something is going to get you banned or not. And that's always been the case, and that will likely continue to be the case for quite a while. So I feel like it's also important to mention my personal experience with this and what kind of relationship I have with being banned. So my Switch has been hacked ever since it was possible to. Right when SXOS came out, I got a review unit sent to me and I was able to hack my Switch immediately, and I have never been banned since that day. That was between 2 to 3 years ago. I've been doing everything under the moon. I've done piracy, I've installed XCIs, ran homebrew NROs, I ran hacks online for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I uploaded a hacked Super Mario Maker level, but then I deleted it right away because I didn't want anything to trace back to me. I've done just about everything you can do related to hacking on the Switch, and I have still not been banned. On the other hand, there is people that will just immediately get banned right after installing Atmosphere or something like that. Just because that's not the case with me doesn't mean that doesn't happen. As you can see, there is quite a few pages on this thread and everyone has different experiences. So that makes me think that there is not one specific thing that's flagging people's consoles for getting banned. I think Nintendo is choosing who they ban depending on, how many flags they trigger or whatever. Because there's no way that I have not triggered any flags for them. I have done so much stuff on my Switch while connected to the internet that there's no way I should still be unbanned right now. And the funny thing is, Nintendo even knows who I am too. They copyright strike all my videos all the time and they take them down. And my Nintendo Network ID is public on all these videos. So it's kind of funny how they're not banning me even though the evidence is right in front of their face. Knowing them, they'll probably watch this video and come and ban me, but that's life. So yeah, just to sum up what I said, there's no one way to know if you're going to get banned for doing something or not. And there is no way to completely protect yourself right now. One false thing that I see being spread around a lot is that emuNAND will completely protect you from all bans, and that is just not the case. Your emuNAND at its core is just a copy of your system NAND, and your system NAND is basically what's running your Switch. It's kind of like the OS, not really, but it has a lot of personal information about you and about your Switch, about all the hardware, about the games you play, about when you go online, and all of these things are still present in your emuNAND, because like I said, an emuNAND is just a copy of your system NAND, but being emulated so that you have no risk of having a hard brick. A brick can happen if you run a homebrew that is made by somebody who does not have good intentions and is intentionally trying to brick your Switch. It can also happen by mistakes. Programs do fail all the time, so while something is being installed or whatever, it could fail and then your Switch could brick. So being on an emuNAND avoids that risk, but it does not avoid the risk of a ban, because like I said, you still have all the same console identifiers, and Nintendo can still see all the games you run, and they can still see everything you do. That is, unless you block communication with them and remove your personal information. And I'll be showing you how to do that later in the video. As you can see, I've got these two tabs pulled up and I'll be showing you how to do both of these. So let's start with 90DNS. This is a DNS server that blocks the Nintendo server. So in layman's terms, what this does is it blocks all Nintendo connections so that your console will not upload any personal data to them about the games you ran, about what you did on your console. So this is one of the most popular ways to try and avoid bans, mainly because it's just so easy and so effective. If Nintendo can't get a hold of your data because you're blocking connections to them, then that means that your data is not being uploaded and you're not being flagged for doing anything. Now let me just make this abundantly clear, this is not a surefire way to avoid getting banned. There is still quite a big risk of being banned by using one of these, but this does reduce the risk a bit. And like I mentioned before, it's just as simple as setting the DNS settings on your internet settings. I'll be showing you how to do this later in the video. For now, let's get on to Incognito, which is a different homebrew application. This one is just a short and sweet post, so I'll just kind of read it out loud to you. The purpose of this is that your switch can go online without worrying about a ban or using random dodgy DNS servers that are likely to get you banned. So this is pretty true, except I don't agree that it's likely to get you banned. He's basically referring to stuff like this, 90 DNS, but there's nothing that can prove that this is actually getting people banned. But it is true that this is just a random dodgy DNS server. Like, this is basically just some guy running it. He could be running it in his basement for all you know. And then one day he could decide to reopen backup connections on these so your switch is vulnerable again. This is completely in some other guy's control. So I do kind of agree with him that it is kind of random and dodgy. But yeah, so always have a NAND backup when you're doing this, of course. I'll be showing you how to back up your prod info in the app too, so that you can back that up, since this is going to be overriding that. So this one's not as simple to set up. You do actually need to go to the link and you need to download the NRO file. So you can go to the releases tab, and then right here you'll see it. So this you can download and run just like a normal homebrew application, but he does mention on this thread that it does not work in Atmosphere, since Atmosphere blocks right to the CIL0, so you have to use RAINX or SXOS to install it. In my case, I'll be doing SXOS, since that's what I already have set up, and that's what I mainly use as my emuNAND besides Atmosphere. So yeah, I'll show you how to do this now. Alright, so as you can see, I've got my Switch micro SD card plugged into my adapter, and in my downloads, I've got the incognito.nro file. So to get this onto your hacked switch, you're going to need to right-click on it and click Copy. And then you're going to go onto your Switch's micro SD card and go inside of the Switch folder and then paste it right in here. So as you can see, it's copied and it's alongside all of these other different NRO files. So we're all done with the setup that we need on our micro SD card. So we can eject this and put it back in your switch and then launch SXOS or RAINX. Like I said, this does not work on Atmosphere, so I'll meet you on my switch. So like I said before, this only works in RAINX and SXOS, and I'm in SXOS right now, so we should be good to do this. So if you launch the album, then you should get into the SXOS menu. So let's go over to the Homebrew tab, and then here we'll see a list of all the Homebrew applications. So we're going to scroll over until we find Incognito. And here it is, so we can just click A to launch that. So then we can do any of the things it says to. Press A to install incognito mode, press B to backup prodinfo.bin only, press Y to restore prodinfo.bin, and press X to verify prodinfo NAND. So I would recommend backing up your prodinfo first, so I'm going to press B to do that. So it says that it's backed up, and we can press plus to exit now because it's all done. So now if we want, we can go back into that. So let's just scroll over into Incognito again. And as you can see, here it is. So we'll just launch that right up again. And now we can install Incognito mode with the A button. And then it says, are you sure you want to erase your personal information from prodinfo? Are you sure you want to do this? You can either do A or you can just close out of it. For this video, I'm just going to be doing A, obviously. And then once you press that, it should be all done. So now our serial number is changed, so if Nintendo does happen to get past that DNS somehow and somehow uploads our serial number, they will see this instead of seeing our actual console serial number, which could be used to identify us and ban our system NAND too. So now you can reboot your console and just press plus to exit if you want to, but I'm going to be rebooting my console right after this video is done. And now I'll be showing you how to change the DNS settings. So first you're going to go into System Settings, and then you're going to scroll down to where it says Internet. Then you're going to go on to Internet Settings and allow it to find the connections around you. If you're not already connected to the internet, then you can just choose the network that you're going to connect to and then do these steps along with me. So since I'm already connected to the one that I want, I'm just going to go down to Change Settings. So then down here where it says DNS settings, automatic, you're going to change this to manual. This allows you to define the manual DNS settings. So right now we can just backspace all of this, and I'll have the DNSs on screen right now. So if you live in North or South America, the DNS will be on top, and of course I'll have these labeled too, and then if you live anywhere else, it's going to be on the bottom. So I'm just entering the North America one right now. And as you can see, that's all entered, so we can just click OK. And then we're going to go down to secondary DNS, and then again backspace all this, and I'm going to set it to the secondary DNS that it says to. Alright, so let's just check this real quick. This looks good to me, so we can click OK. Now that I've got both of the DNSs defined, we can just go over here and click on Save, and then it should save the settings. So now if we connect to it, it should still successfully connect. The only difference is that connection tests should fail now because it's unable to communicate with the Nintendo servers. So as you can see, there's no response. That's not because the DNS is down, that's just because it cannot connect to the Nintendo servers, which is exactly what it's trying to do right now. So that's basically all the setup that there is for 90 DNS. So now that we've got that set up, you're all good to do whatever you want on your Switch. And like I said before, there's still a risk of being banned, but this is one of the best ways out there to mitigate it at the moment. So that's basically all I have to show you for this video. I hope this was informational, and I hope you learned a lot of stuff about banning and how to potentially avoid them in the future. So if you guys have any questions, as always, feel free to comment them down below. If you want to help anyone else out, or if you want to give any tips or advice, make sure to leave those in the comments too. I'm sure you'll help someone out. And make sure to like the video if this helped you out, dislike if it didn't, subscribe for more videos like this in the future, and I'll see you next time.